When you're working with wood decking, this is always going to happen, especially with this 5/4 inch decking. If you look closely down your lines, your gaps are not going to be consistent, and we have this bow here. Today, we're going to work on getting that fixed, doing a correction with it. So it really doesn't matter how well and how good you take care of it. With dimensional wood or any wood, you're going to have shrinking and expansion, and there's going to be issues here. If we measure over here, this side of the deck, we have 39 5/8, almost a 3/4. If I jump over to the other side of the deck, I have 39 3/8. There's inconsistent gapping happening. It just happens while you're working. So every once in a while we want to do a correction line. I like to do them about every 6. Got a little eager here. We're actually at the 8th board. That's okay, we can make this work. First thing we want to do, we want to either find the largest or the smallest gap. So I pull my next deck board in place. Got these fun little Hillman deck spacers. You can buy them on Amazon or order them somewhere. I just buy a case of Hillman screws and they just throw them in for free. It's a lot cheaper that way. So our gap in here, just check here. Oh, actually this is a very good demonstration here. So here, deck board is actually spaced a 1/4 inch. Here we're a little large to 3/16, and here we're none of the above. We're not 3/16 and we're not an 1/8. And that's just going to happen with your regular dimensional wood. So like I said, ideally we're shooting for 3/16, so we measure it here. Oh, this one's a little bit for free. This is a little, oh, that'll work. Whenever you're installing your decking, if there's a bow in your decking, you can correct that with this screw and when you screw it on. But when you're laying it down, always lay it for the bow pushes out. That way you can pull it in. If you do it the other way like this, you're going to be fighting in the middle and you're never going to get it done. So always just throw your bow out the other direction. Back to measuring here. Got my 3/16 spacing that I want. And now it claims it's 45 and 1/8. Jump over to my other side here. You got 45 and 3/8, maybe 7/16. So the easiest way is to go with the bigger one, but I could also go a little bit smaller. Got it roughly lined up. Gonna grab my Camo Marksman Pro here. Start attaching it. So this, the gap in space for 3/16. Like I said, we're not doing a full 3/16 here because we want to get it to line up on our line. Very important we get up our line. So use the flat bar here to space it out. Or I could slip my Hillman spacer in there to make that work too. I prefer the flat bar because it's easier to manipulate a little bit. Get this here. Make sure we line up on our joist. Like I said, we're doing a bigger gap here. And I'm going to be pushing on this a little bit, so I'll just stick my Hillman in there just to make sure we get it. Start working. I like to work like a typewriter. You can Google what that is, but left, right, keep your patterns over. As you see, this gap is fairly large, but as we do that, we're going to make it nice and consistent. And as the wood dries, you're going to have inconsistent gaps anyways. So within about a month, the homeowner will even know we did our correction here. But it's much better to have small incorrect gaps here than to have one huge incorrect taper piece or something like that over there. Jumping over to our next one here. So here, to keep it on our line, we can't fit our Camo Marksman Pro in there. So I put my spacer. I like to put the first set in there. That's where I can do it. Now, you can buy a Camo Marksman Pro that doesn't require a gap there, and it's a little drill to screw it in there. I don't have one of those here right now, so I'm just going to eat up my finger a little bit and go to an angle here. It's okay for the occasional screw. If you had to do your entire light deck like that, your fingers will be asking you why you did that, but just for one or two, it's fine. I do always enjoy the Marksman Pro here because edge screwing, it's a lot cleaner, less slivers, less pooling of dirt or anything else. Just makes your deck feel better. Well, now we're getting super tight here. Take my space around. So here, and this is probably one of the greatest reasons to use a correction line every 6 boards or so. As you may notice here, so we had a huge gap there, and we have practically no gap over here, and that is because there's a bow happening within our decking as we're installing it. Always pay attention to your pattern, that you don't miss screwing your decking down. That's going to create a clicking sound later on when you're working on the deck, and you're not going to enjoy that. We're not going to need to do on this one, but you really need to push something really tight. You can actually take a 2x4, screw it on the side here, and just leverage it over and push it back in place. But here, we need it tight, but we don't need it that tight, just in case you haven't figured out yet. I'm a big fan of the Camo. Just makes your deck that much better, especially when dealing with wood decks. And price of composite, wood decking, you have a very good argument to use it. All right, one more to go, and then we're all done. So now we've corrected this board, so now our decking's going to be working off a nice straight line again. So we can put another 6 boards in there, maybe 7 if we get too eager, and then we'll do another correction line as we work our way to the house. So our cut piece we can hide underneath our deck flashing, which we'll show you later. Give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.